Welcome to Trackman Truths. I'm Chris Moss. This is where we let the numbers do the talking. So today your Trackman Truth is all about how to hit mega spin wedge shots. So the two main boxes I'm looking to optimize my numbers on today are my landing angle and my smash factor. So landing angle is basically exactly what it says it is. It's the angle the ball is coming in to land at. We're looking to always try and get the highest spinning wedge shot, the one that's actually going to move backwards on the green, is going to be landing around the 45-degree mark or above. If we can get it slightly above 45 degrees, then on the way down it has more downward energy than it does forward energy. Therefore, the backspin is going to have a greater chance at actually bringing the ball or sucking the ball backwards, getting that little bit of zip. If that landing angle is too low, as I've demonstrated in this video here with the ball back in the stance, you can see the ball doesn't get the same apex. It flies a lot lower. It comes into the ground at a flatter angle. Therefore, it gets a hop, skip, and a jump before any spin can start imparting. Now, this shot is still spinning. This shot's spinning virtually 7,000 revs. So this wouldn't be a bad shot to play to a back flag location. But if you're trying to land it at the front of the green and stop it dead, then you've got to have that landing angle up around the 45-degree mark. So what I'm going to try and do is explain how we achieve the correct landing angle and how we're going to basically get this smash factor to work for us. So the smash factor is normally associated with driver. In fact, in the high bombs video we did last week, we were talking about how to increase that smash factor to get extra distance. Anything above 1.50 with driver means that we're striking it well and transferring lots of energy from the club head into the ball. The smash factor is measured by the club speed, and then the ball speed. So in this instance, you can see the smash factor is 0.99. So we're very close on numbers here. So I'm swinging at 70 miles an hour and the ball's coming off at 70 miles an hour. The nearer we can get this down to 1 or below, then the more spin you're going to start seeing on the greens. So I'm just going to quickly play you this technique here. This one's a slightly advanced technique that we're going to discuss in later videos. But I just want you to notice here, weight forwards, body rotation doing most of the work, clubs hinge nicely on the way back. But look how the handle here is covering the ball. I've lined the handle up above the golf ball vertically. As you can see here by this, I'll put an extra line in, extra yellow line. So I'm lining the butt of the club up and then the shaft, the club head is releasing. And you can see how far, the red line here shows us how far the club head is traveling compared to how far the butt of the club has moved. So you can see that the club head is accelerating quite a lot faster than the handle. That gives the club head a bit more zip. That therefore allows me to get that club firing under the ball. And you can actually see here, as I'm hitting the golf ball, that the ball and the club are moving through at a very similar speed. That's showing that this smash factor is down to 0.99. If I show you one of the swings with the ball back in the stance, you'll see how at impact, the ball is moving much faster than the actual club head itself. Look at this, ready? Next frame, look how much further the ball has gone there. So the smash factor there is too high, the launch angle is too low, the land angle is too shallow, therefore we're not seeing any spin on the ball. So to learn how to play this basic method, what you have to do first of all is, let's have a look, right swing here, perfect, is what I want you to adapt is what I call the lowercase y setup. So the lowercase y is formed with your right arm, your right wrist angle, and your left arm and your left wrist angle. So the left wrist is flat and the right wrist has this little bend in the back of it. Now I've got about 60-65% of weight in my left foot here. The ball is not back. I want that launch to be up, or that landing angle to be up around the 45-degree mark. I'm not going to achieve that if the ball's back in my stance. So the ball's forwards, weight's forwards, head remains stationary as I turn the hips and shoulders back together. Please notice how they're not really separating. They are moving back. They're turning as one. That is transporting the arms back. I'm doing very little with my hands. In fact, all I'm trying to do at the moment for this basic method is hold on to that lowercase y, which I've done quite nicely there. Now I want to transport and collect that golf ball. So I'm transporting the club through with body and hip rotation towards your target. And what I want you to notice here is how everything is looking at the target. So the shoulders are looking at the target, the hips are looking towards the target, right knee, right foot, and most importantly, look, the head is up, I'm standing up, I'm on my left side, and my eyes are looking at the target. I tried to do a few bad techniques here on purpose earlier on to try and demonstrate what not to do. Let's see if I can find one here. Okay, this little fella. So this is an illustration of pretty good setup. Ball's too far back though, don't like seeing that. It keeps that landing angle down. Backswing wasn't too bad, but now on the way down, the body rotation stops. Because the body rotation stops, the hands flick. I lose that lowercase y look, and then I stand up. People say, oh, you're raising your head, you're raising your head. You have to raise your head because you're flicking your wrists. If you don't raise your head at this point, then you're going to collide with the ground and you'll hit it massively fat. But because you are flicking your wrists, you're raising the club up and you're pulling your arms up. Therefore, you're either shortening the radius of your swing or lengthening it. So it's very difficult to get a consistent contact doing this. Look at that technique there. Look, the hips are still looking at the camera. Shoulders are barely turned through. Head's got no room and the wrist will collapse. Another shot that is just as bad as that one. Again, someone's playing the ball back. They've been told that's where they put it for spin. But this person is swinging backwards. Then all of a sudden on the way down thinks, oh, but I want to hit it higher. I want to hit it higher. So they start leaning backwards. And then again, they're flicking their wrist. They're changing their angles. They're lengthening and shortening their radius. And then they're leaning back. Why are they doing that? But you don't need to try and hit wedge shots high. You've got a club in your hands with 56 degrees of loft. It's going to do it for you. So please do not lean backwards in an attempt to get the ball in the air. The loft and the strike will do it for you. Okay, so please let's get this swing out of your system. Okay, a couple of drills to try and understand how this works. I call this the one arm drill for obvious reasons. I've just got the right arm there. I've tried to form the lowercase y with just the right arm and the club shaft. So I've got adequate right wrist bend. Again, I've got 65% of weight in my left foot. Now, my right arm is going to do absolutely nothing in this swing. All I am doing is turning my hips and shoulders backwards. Yeah, halfway back, and then turning my hips and shoulders all the way through to the target. Weight is forwards on the left foot, pulling the handle. The handle's being dragged. It's being dragged by the body rotating towards the target. The club head there, look, I'm still keeping that right wrist angle through impact, turning all the way through and holding the finish. Now that does take some practice, especially if you're used to firing that right arm. So once you've got that, another drill you can do is where you shadow with the left hand. So you put your left hand in position, okay, and because the arms aren't doing anything, they're being transported, the left arm and the right arm should turn back at the same sort of rate. Yeah, turn down together, through together, and finish virtually together, almost clapping hands, yeah, in the same position. What we don't want to see is, let me see if this was the bad one. So again, this is the shadow drill gone wrong. As I'm swinging down, turning backwards, right hip, right shoulder. Please get the idea the club's being transported. But here, I did turn all the way through. That wasn't the bad one. The bad one is where the body rotation stops and the club overtakes the left hand, which is in here somewhere. This one, let's have a little look. So here, the body rotation at impact stops, and therefore the right hand flicks, body rotation stops. So now the hands are in control, not the body. It gets all flicky. Head stays down, knees stay down, no rotation, therefore you'll play a bad shot. So try and get in this finish that we spoke about earlier with the right knee, the right hip, the right shoulder, all looking straight at your target. Okay, so the keys to work on. Number one, let's just have a quick look at spin rates here. So ball back in the stance. Now you can play this shot. I'm using the lowercase y set up again here. Your angle of attack is going to be much steeper because the ball's so far back. Weight still on the left foot. This is actually a fabulous shot to play to a back flag. You're trying to play it in there nice and low. You're landing it halfway up the green. It's going to take 3 or 4 skips forwards before it starts checking on that last sort of bounce. What you can see here is look how much forward shaft lean there is there. The angle of attack here is going up to probably 10, maybe even 12 degrees. So therefore, look at this dynamic loft, how much it's come down. Launch angle's down, land angle's shallow. Therefore, the ball is bouncing, bouncing, bouncing before it's spinning. Now, because this smash factor is so high, I can't actually swing that fast to hit it 70 odd yards. Because the ball's launching too low. So the fact that I'm swinging slower will reduce your spin. As I start to increase the launch a wee bit, yeah, and increase the land angle, you can see these spin rates are starting to go up and the ball is running less on the greens. And the spin rate, because I'm now allowed to swing faster, because I'm presenting more loft, I can get the swing speed going up a few miles an hour, which therefore allows the spin to get greater, because the faster you swing the club, the more spin you'll get. Just as a quick side note on this, if you want spin, you've got to have 3 things right. You've got to have a decent wedge that's fairly new with decent grooves. You need to use a premium golf ball, and you need to have a decent lie. If the ball's sitting up too much on the fairway or in the rough, you catch it too high up the club face and you don't get the same spin imparted. So you need those 3 things in position before you can start playing these decent shots. Now, here you can see I'm moving the ball further forwards. It's nearer the left foot, and the spin rate's going up and up until the point where I'm getting it virtually on my left heel, similar to a driver swing. The only difference between, well, there's 2 differences, but the main difference between a driver swing and this one is I'm keeping my weight forward. So I'm keeping a little bit of lean to the left on the way back, and then I'm driving a bit more weight forward to the left foot on the way through. So I'm still trying to hit down, but I'm trying to hit down with a very shallow angle of attack. So this is down probably to about only a 2 or 3 degree angle of attack. Therefore, the dynamic loft is more. The landing angle is better. The smash factor is lower. I can swing with more speed and start to get more spin. When you get this technique down and you want to go for mega spin shots, then all I've done with this one is just the exact same technique, but twist everything open 5 or 10 degrees. So you can see here on the graphic, I'm actually trying to hit a little cut shot. And this one spins back about a yard or so. So weight forwards, yeah, ball on the left heel, lowercase y, and now just transport that lowercase y all the way back, all the way down, transport it all the way through. Now, I've actually started to rehinge the club here a little bit because I'm swinging so much faster. I'm up to 75 miles an hour. So just to release the energy in my arms a wee bit, the club has just actually virtually rehinged itself. That's when we start getting onto the more advanced model. So please try and get the simple basic model down first of all. Try and experiment with different ball positions that suit you. You don't have to flick the wrists. You don't have to try and help it into the sky. You're doing that with ball position and the loft you have. Try and feel that the body rotation transports the club back and through. There's not much hand action. Try those drills for yourselves. And then post below, let us know how you're getting on. Please like the video and subscribe. Feel if you want to, if you can retweet or even put it on Facebook, or join us on Trackman Truths on both Facebook and Twitter. I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Thanks very much.